Welcome back to my node by node challenge where I'm going through every single node in the Blender Shading Workspace version 4.3. I've gone through a bunch of the nodes already, and now we are on to the input node of particle info, which particle info node is similar to object info in the fact that it has a lot of characteristics where you can pick where you want the colors to be or certain factors in it. We're going to be doing this to do color. So for example, let's say I wanted to have an even amount of color kind of breaking up between the different objects here and the different cubes. I'm going to take and drop in a color ramp. Now the color ramp, you're going to see it's going to show first and last only, so it shows the red first one, and then the rest of them, anything in the back, is all blue. Well, we want to actually have all three colors in here, so I'm going to take a map range node. I'm going to drop this in, and what the map range node is going to do is it's going to, if I just put an open range, so up to 1,000 different particles, so it's more than what we have here, which I think I have a little bit less than that. And then I put the max on here to 1, so it's basically 1 unit for each one of these. What it's going to do is it's actually going to take, based on my color ramp, and control the size of how many of those. If you notice, as I move this and change this around, it actually changes how much of those is in that color. So that's something that's really cool. Now let's say that I didn't want to do it that way and I wanted it to be totally random. What I could do is take the random node, plug it in here, and what you're going to see is now it's going to take these colors and randomly throw them on all the different objects. So that's pretty cool as well. Now next thing I can do is I can take and do age. If I want to do age of the object instead, it's going to color these objects based on how long they've been out here. So as of right now, it's just showing it as the first ones because obviously it's all low numbers. Well, if I drop in a math node of map range and I change this to, let's say, 100, okay, now what you're going to see is once it's been out here a certain amount of time, it's going to change from the first color to the second color to the third color. So that's a really cool thing too, to be able to have control as the colors moving through from one to the next. Next up, you have lifetime. So lifetime is based on the lifetime of the particles. So all these particles have the same lifetime, so they're actually going to all come out the same. So there's no difference. But let's say that you had some particles that had a shorter lifetime than others, though that would change the colors of it. You're controlling which ones are in color by how long they're alive, so to speak. Next, you have location. So location is going to be based on the location on this object. So as of right now, let's say that we drop this down because we want to assume it's a lower location. If we do this, it's going to change the color based on where it is in the location of the curve. So as you can see, certain areas of the curve are green, certain ones are blue, certain ones are red, no matter what particles pass through it. So that's based on location. Then you have size. So size is going to be the actual size of the particle. Would change the color of it and the output. So all these sizes are the same, so they're not different size particles, but if they were all random size, what it would do is it would change the color of them based on the size of the particle. Then you have velocity. Velocity is really cool because velocity has to do with the speed of how fast it goes around the curve. So the faster it's going around the curve, the different the color. So obviously the outside is going to have to go a little faster to keep up with the inside, hence why that one's going green. But you can change this around, you can change the numbers around, and you'll see that based on the speed of it is going to change the color. It's pretty cool. And then lastly, you have the angular velocity, which has to do with the angle of the speed that the object is going at. These ones are all going to be going at the same speed, so it's not going to change it. This one's, as you can tell, it's not loading up here. That one is a little bit intensive, so just know that I've had it freeze a couple times and it does that, so be careful when you're using the angular velocity. But overall, that's the main thought process behind it, is that you can change all these to control which ones are going to be in color, similar to object info. So hopefully that helps with the particle info node. Make sure you follow me, like my videos, share them, and keep watching for all the updated ones.